All right, we've made it. We're in the final steps. So at this point, what's happened is 60 days have passed or they are about to pass, and we need to file just the last few documents in order to finalize this divorce. And so what do we need to do? Well, first, we need to complete the proof by interrogatories. What this is just a fancy term for what you would have said in court had you actually gone to a trial or a hearing in front of a judge. And so these are simple questions like, what's your name? When were you married? Do you have any children? Are you restoring your maiden name? Things of that nature. So once you complete this, then you'll move towards the motion for the final decree, or motion to enter the decree. That motion, which again will be provided to you, you need to get the motion hour block. So how do you do that? It's really simple. Remember we were talking about local court rules? That's where you would pull that information. If it's not in there, which it should be, but if it's not, and for instance, Jefferson County, or for example, Jefferson County does not put their motion hour in there, in their local court rules, you simply call the court. Call the court, say, I'm filing to enter the decree in my dissolution of marriage. I need to know when motion hour is so I can file this on the appropriate day and time. They'll tell you, and you'll be able to fill out the document appropriately. So once you complete the proof by interrogatories, what you'll do is you'll work on the final decree. The final decree is simply what the judge will sign that dissolves the marriage. So this document is a template that will be provided to you that will say all of the basics. What your name is, you met the legal requirements, that you are now restored as single persons. If there's children involved, they'll reference that. If not, they won't. But then also it will reference the MSA, that marital settlement agreement we talked about prior. So once that is set and you've collected the proof by interrogatories, the motion for the final decree or entry of decree, and the final decree, now you're ready to file the last bit of documents necessary to finalize the divorce. So what do? It's really simple. You're going to grab everything we've worked on after you initially filed. So you're going to grab the disclosures, whether you completed both disclosures or you had one individual complete the acknowledgement. You're going to grab the settlement agreement. You're going to grab proof by interrogatories. You're going to grab the motion to enter the decree and the final decree. Then you're going to go and file that all in the same case number that you've been given by the court. So with that, the three common key takeaways I'll say is, one, don't forget that on proof, you have to file 2 copies. Again, we don't want to list socials and date of births and anything like that. So we'll file that in 2 versions. One will be redacted, one will be sealed. Next, get the motion hour block from your local court rules. If they're not in there, call the family courthouse and get them to provide that to you so that you can set it for the appropriate motion hour, and you're filing these documents on the appropriate day. And then finally, if you're going to restore your maiden name, remember that you're going to need a certified copy of that final decree. That way you can go to Social Security office and the DMV and all of that in order to update your information. So it's important that you have that certified decree at the end of this. After you file the initial documents, your petition, your cover sheet, your family case information data sheet, the VS-300, that certificate of divorce, once you file those documents, the court will give you a case number. That case number and the court assigned to your particular dissolution of marriage or divorce, that bit of information will go on all the future documents. So when we talk about acknowledgments and financial disclosures, proof, and motion for decree and the actual decree itself, those numbers will be associated with the blocks that we provided in the templates. So remember, after you file, make sure you get a case number. That way you can update your information at a later date when we go through this prior to finalizing your divorce. Otherwise, if you forget, don't worry. You can always call the courthouse or go to the courthouse, provide them with your information, and they'll give you the case number and what division you're in if there's multiple divisions. So with all of this being done, you will walk to the courthouse, drive to the courthouse, go open your case file, which will have a case number associated with your divorce, and you will complete those documents and file them in the court at that time. There's no additional fee for filing these, so you simply want to make sure that you have it all together, so when it's filed, everything goes into the appropriate folder. At that point, you're waiting for the judge's signature, and we'll talk about the last bit of resources and what to expect in our next video.